Well, welcome to Chatting with the Stars. I'd like to apologize to our viewers for that breaking transmission. We got your texts. You are not hearing us. So we are decided to restart the program all over again and to have you all feast on what this woman of God here is saying to us tonight. We're in office, we're in studio with Captain Cooker, and she is the chief or the captain for the West Park, town of West Park, and Pembroke Park. Our own chief is here to sit with us on set today. Welcome to Chatting with the Stars.
Thank you.
Okay, now we wanted to know what was your early childhood like. We're talking to the woman about the woman behind the desk and the things that she has accomplished over the years, being chief and being a mother, a sister, a friend, a wife. So we wear many hats. We want to, it's Black History Month. We want to start off with our guest as a female officer being a star on the job. What was your childhood like, your upbringing?
Wow. Well, I've had a awesome upbringing. My parents were both public servants, and they did such a phenomenal job raising me and my brother. My mom was a school teacher, and my dad was a lieutenant with the Fire and Rescue Department in the city of Pompano Beach. So that's where I was born and raised. I grew up in a Catholic background. I attended Catholic school for 9 years, and then I branched out to Ely High School. And from Ely High School, I had an opportunity to go to Florida A&M University. I graduated in criminal justice, and then I came back home, and I decided to go and pursue a degree in the family business. We have a funeral home, so I went and branched out and got my associate's degree in funeral services, and then I decided to keep trucking on, and I wanted to get my master's in business administration, so I had an opportunity to do that, and so that's pretty much my upbringing. My parents really instilled in us the importance of giving back to the community and just branching out and helping people. And so that kind of led me to where I'm at today.
So did you know you'd become a cop?
No. I did not know I was going to become a cop at all. I originally wanted to be a medical examiner, and the avenue that I took ended up taking me into law enforcement. My mom told me when I was a little girl, she found a letter I wrote to Santa, and I wanted a police bicycle. So I guess I had it in me the whole way through, but yeah.
Yeah. Were you ever a victim of bullying or peer pressure?
No, I'm going to say no. Going to Catholic school, I was the only black in the class. It was kind of hard because, young kids, you want to play. Nobody really wanted to play with me. They wasn't sure about me. It wasn't until I got a little older that, things started changing and people started being more friendly and understanding that, I'm just a person just like they are. So once I, got through that, that's it. Peer pressure, no. Or bullying, no. My parents kept me very busy with activities, sports, piano, dance, everything. So I really didn't have time to be out with the friends and staying. I kept trucking along. So it was pretty good.
What are your hobbies?
My hobbies. I'm a homebody. I'm a homebody. I have 2 beautiful kids, so I spend a lot of time doing little family things with them. We do a lot of parks and that kind of stuff, and just spending time together. And I also, I love fishing. I like to go fishing. So it's peace of mind.
Yes, fishing. Go fishing. Mm-hmm. Being an officer, how do you balance your child or children from becoming a part of a negative situation?
I'm a strong advocate in talking, communication. I think communication is the key to anything. So I'm always talking to, I have a 9-year-old little girl, and she's in 3rd grade. So I'm always talking to her about different situations and different scenarios, and just teaching her about, if this was to happen, if this stranger approached you, if, this person said this to you, what would you do? So I'm always throwing different scenarios at her and keeping her focused.
And not quiet. Do not be quiet about it.
Absolutely. Do not be quiet. You got to communicate. Communication is the key. And, you talk to them and let them know what's going on, what can happen, how it can happen. Because sometimes kids are naive and they really don't know, and they're very trusting of people. So, that's why I communicate a lot with her about things.
Okay. Most children grow up on TV or with a single parent. What can the police do to have young people tap into programs that would enable them one day to become a police officer?
Sheriff's Office. I'm a huge advocate in community policing, and that's one of the things here in the district that we do. We go out and we talk to the kids at elementary school. We're always reading to them. We're always talking to them about, being a cop and the things that police officers do. We also have an Explorer program for high school students, which teach them the discipline of law enforcement, which teaches them the different avenues they can take. They participate in so many different community events that we go to. They also participate in, they have different challenges that they go to, different events that they're able to participate in and compete against other Explorer program posts. So it's really nice thing that we can do with the kids.
Okay. How can a police officer offer volunteering to the community for young people, keeping them occupied? Because they have a lot of time on their hands, then they'll get into trouble.
Yes.
Is there a program that, you can register your children with the police department?
Yes. One of them, once again, the Explorer program.
We're going.
The Explorer program that we just talked about is one of the great programs that they have for high school students to keep them occupied. And we also, here in the district, we have a PAL building, which is the Police Athletic League. And in the PAL building, we're able to have kids go over. They have a boxing ring. They have one of the BSO police officers are there, and they're able to box and learn skill sets, and just to keep them off the street, give them something to do. And so we have a lot of programs that we do with the kids.
When you put on your uniform, does that personality of that officer change? Do you change?
Yes, I would say when you put on this uniform, you have to play different many roles and many avenues. You're a teacher, you're a counselor, you're a police officer, you're a firefighter, you're a mother, you're whatever you could think of. We're that person, because when we go to a scene, you never know what you're going to get. You never know. Somebody just might need that person to talk to. Somebody might need a helping hand to carry their bags to the car. You know what I mean? Somebody might need, hey, could you help my cat get out the tree? We're all of those things.
You actually turn up for that?
Yes, yeah. Anybody call the police, we're there. We're there no matter what. And, if we can help, we can. If not, we have resources, but we respond to everything.
What is the crime rate for West Park?
For West Park, if I could combine the both, West Park and the city and the town of Pembroke Park.
Yes.
The crime rate is very low, usually around holiday time, so around Thanksgiving and into December, you're usually seeing a little bit of an uptick because it's the holiday season. And a lot of things, cars are broken into, houses are broken into, usually around that time. But this last year into this year, we took a decline. We ticked up around November, but around Christmas time, we took a decline. And right now, crime is very low right now. So yeah, we're doing good.
You're doing good. How can we, as a community, help the police to stop all crime?
One of the things I'm a huge advocate in is community policing, and so I'm always telling the neighbors and the people in the community, know your neighbors, know who lives next door to you, know that, okay, I know Mrs. Smith is out of town, but who's that person sitting on her front porch? He's not supposed to be there. I know Miss Smith doesn't have any kids. Let me call Miss Smith and see, hey, there's a young kid sitting on your porch. Is he supposed to be there? Miss Smith, no, he's not supposed to be there. That's an opportunity to call the police so we can go and investigate why this young person is sitting on your porch. Know your neighbor's cars. Okay, I know, Mr. Joe doesn't have a truck, so these are all avenues. So it's so important as community people, see something, say something is what I tell people. If you see something, you know your community. You know when something's out of place. You know when something's not right. Yes. Call us. That's what we're here for. We'll come out and investigate it, whether it's nothing or whether it is something. That's what we're here for. So we're always encouraging the community, know your neighbors, see something, say something, and keep an eye out. Keep an eye out on what you're doing, because people tend to be victims. Forget to lock your car doors. Leaving bags and personal items in plain view. So somebody walked past your car. Oh, look, she left her purse in the back seat. Let me grab it. So it's stuff like that you have to remind people to be conscious of what you're doing, because there's always an opportunist out there.
Yes. Just get on crime.
Yes, yes.
What role does the police play? What's the role of the police in communities, and are you satisfied with the results you're getting?
Absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, as a district chief here, I'm always instilling in the guys and the young ladies that I have here in the district about community policing. It's not just about going out and enforcing laws. It's about getting to know the residents and the citizens of West Park and the town of Pembroke Park. Know who your people are, because once you build that relationship, they're going to be comfortable when you come, coming to you and saying, hey, I have information. They're going to be comfortable with you coming to their house. Oh, I know Officer Joe, he's always here. So be mindful, be respectful to your community. Go out, know who your people are. One of the things that I implemented in the community was we did a driveway initiative.
Okay, tell us about that.
The driveway initiative it's a program that we are able to do at a local resident's house, and we set up chairs in the driveway, and we invite all the neighbors to come over, and we bring I'm there, my executive officer is there, and we bring the command staff and the deputies out who work the streets, and we just talk. We talk about things in their neighborhood that are going on. We talk about incidents that occur. We talked about ways to help prevent them from becoming a victim. We talk about everything. And we meet and greet afterwards. We go, we talk.
So the uniform doesn't separate you from the public?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Not for West Park?
No, I consider myself family's a citizen here, a resident here, because I take pride in, the law enforcement service that we're doing here.
So police do feel welcomed in the community?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Does the police department think it's better to be feared in the community than to see them as working instruments of peace?
One more time.
Does the police department think it's better to be feared in the community, or to see them working as an instrument of peace?
I'm going to say a little bit of both. I want people to look at us as, let me say this, I want people to look at us as, we're here to provide peace, we're here to provide service, we're here to protect the community. I want people to feel comfortable with us when we're here. In the same sentence too, I also want them to know that
Don't cross the line.
Yeah, correct. Don't cross the line, because we're still here, we have a job to do.
Yes.
We have a job to do. So we're here to service the community, we're here to protect the community, we're here to make sure that we keeping order and peace as well.
Okay. Have you ever had a near-death experience working on the force?
No. Neither.
Have you had officers had near-death experience?
No.
Wow.
No, I have not. Not under my command. No. I did have a coworker who was killed. Sergeant Chris Rica. He was killed in the line of duty. He was a coworker of mine. But no, since I've been a supervisor up ranks, no, I have not.
Okay. How do you balance your family life with the many responsibilities you have being chief of police?
It's interesting. I have a great support system. My husband is awesome. He's also, along with the sheriff's office, he's a sergeant with the sheriff's office as well.
So you married in the force?
I did. I married in the force. So he's great, and he understands. So when I'm called out to work late, or I get the midnight phone call, he understands what we're doing and how we do it. And so he works. And then my parents are awesome.
Is it better to marry the person that is part of your career than someone outside?
I'm not going to say it's better. It's hard to answer that, but what I am going to say is that he understands. He understands that, if the phone rings in the middle of the night, it's probably something going on in the district. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. He knows if I get called out or if he gets called out, it's an understanding because we're both in the same job. So we understand each other.
Wow. What are your responsibilities as district chief?
District chief. Well, how I got here was the city of West Park and the town of Pembroke Park both selected me as a district chief. And one of my jobs here, many of my jobs here, one of the jobs I have here primarily is to keep peace, law enforcement, keep peace and order here. Make sure that the deputies are doing their jobs. I make sure that we're keeping the citizens happy, and we're providing the appropriate law enforcement services to them. And that's what I do. I just lead a group of awesome deputies, and they go out and they make it happen. And they do a wonderful job, and they make my job easy.
So it's not hard being a female, or the acceptance being a female officer around men?
No, it's not hard. It's not hard. I hold my own. I hold my own. It's not hard at all. One thing I can say is I stay focused on the mission at hand, on what I'm supposed to do. I know the rules, I know the regulations, I know the sheriff's policy manual, and if I stay focused on that path, everything else just falls into place. I'm blessed, so.
Yes. What was Police Academy like?
Woo, Police Academy. It was very strenuous. But it was awesome. It was awesome. Not only do you have the academic aspect of it, where you're learning the state laws and statutes and regulations and everything, but you also have the physical aspect, which was the hard part. Jumping over walls, 6-foot walls, and
you did all that?
Yes. Did all that. We had to learn how to shoot a gun. So you do a lot of fun stuff in the academy, and it was great. It was great. It's 6 months, okay. And then you go and take a state exam, and then once you pass the state exam, then you go into your field. You ride with the person for 3 months, and then after that time is up, then you go out on your own.
Well, is there an age for you to become a police officer?
The starting age is 18.
And is there a cap?
I'm going to say no. If you're physically capable of passing the physical agility and passing the demands just to, get into it, sky's the limit.
What about background?
Backgrounds. Regarding your background, no felony convictions, and even some misdemeanor arrests are waived. You got to have a clean background. So that's why I always tell people, think about the things you do before you do it, because if later on in life, if you want to become a police officer or you want to be this particular type of job, people are looking at your histories. Mm-hmm. They're pulling your histories, they're looking at your background. So that's why it's so important now to look at, everything that you're doing now. It leads into your future,
Yes. Now, how do you balance social media? It's a lot since it's been birthed, coming up. We have so many fake news now. You don't know who to trust. All of that stuff going on social media.
Yeah.
How do the police investigate or deal with social media and investigations?
Social media, a lot of people put a lot of stuff on social media. A lot of truth stuff on social media. So we're able to look at different things and different events and different stuff that's coming up. And, and it really helps us in our investigations. So we're always keeping an eye on social media. That's how we find out good things too. We find out events that are going on. Sometimes stuff we want to participate in. It's not just investigative purposes, but it's also stuff that we want to participate in too. It helps us in a lot of investigation, missing persons. Sometimes, kids will run away from home and they'll post on there, I'm such and such a location. Yeah. So we're able to, so it really assists us with it. And it's also not even just an investigation aspect, but it also assists us with communicating with the community, communicating with people. a lot of people, like you said, are always on the phone, are always on social media. So we're able to put things out to the community that they might not be able to see on TV, or they might not have got through reading, a poster or something we might have had out. We put it on, so the sheriff's office has an Instagram and a Facebook account that we're always putting good information out
for the community.
For the community, absolutely.
Okay. Do you love what you do?
I love it. I love it.
No regrets?
No regrets.
What are the sacrifices you have to make to be a district chief?
There's really no sacrifices. No sacrifices. Like I said, I have a great support system. My husband, my parents, my kids are awesome, and they help me every step of the way. The district that I have here, the deputies in the district, everybody makes the job easy. And there's no regrets. I love what I do. And I've been here 16 and a half years, going on 17.
Wow.
Yeah, I plan to be here a whole bunch more.
What is a job description for a police chief? If someone wanted to follow in your footsteps, not taking their job away.
You know what? Be honest. Be dedicated. Honesty, dedication. Be loyal to yourself and loyal to others. Respect.
Well, we're now here for a break. We'll be right back. I'm wrapped up in the conversation.
Quick question after there.
No.
Welcome back to Chatting with the Stars. We're here with our police chief for the town of Pembroke Park and West Pembroke Park. And this is a Black History Month. We are honoring black people who are stars in our community. We think that Stephanie Cooker is a star. She is really, really so cool as a police officer. And that goes to my next question. The fear of the community, seeing an officer, the wave at an officer, and going up to a public just to say, how are you doing? Is it met with fear or welcoming them to do that?
I'm going to say it's probably a little bit of both. Like I said, we're really, I really push the deputies to go out and speak with the community and speak with the people they see. Ride down the street with your windows down. Wave to people. Let them know that it's okay to talk to your local police officer. And like I said, we do our driveway initiatives, and we do coffee with a cop. We do, I'm missing something, driveway initiative, coffee with a cop. We're participating in all the events out there that the city hosts and the town hosts. So we're always working with the community. So I think that that's helping to break down the barrier that was there of, where the shyness or the hesitation to say hi to a police officer. We're breaking that down by being out in the community. So, I think it's going down. I think we're not getting that resistance as much as we probably used to get.
Is there racism in the police department?
Racism. Well, I'm going to say this. You have your select few that, challenges you, that questions what you're doing, but I don't let anything like that get to me. That doesn't stop me in my work profession, because I know what I'm doing and what I'm giving back to the community, and that's my peace of mind that I have. Like I said, it goes back to my upbringing and what my parents instilled in me. Sky's the limit. Do you. Go out and do you. So if there is racism out there, it doesn't affect Stephanie, because I keep trucking. I don't let it.
How do you balance that with your deputies, though, and working together to meet this type of resistance?
Cohesiveness. We're one big family in the district, and they'll tell you, any meeting that we have, or anytime I meet with the deputies, we're one big family, and I tell them that all the time. We don't have that issue. And if we do, it never was brought to me. But we don't have that issue. We're one big happy family there. You know, of course we have our little tit-tat there, but you know, that's a part of a family. Everybody has that. But that's not something that we're faced with in the South Broward District.
Okay. We are so happy to have you on set. Have you ever been pulled over as a cop?
I have.
Were you speeding?
I was. And I got my citation just like anybody else. So there really was no favoritism, you know, with speeding. But yeah, I got pulled over. Yes.
Yes. How do you react to? What are your cases? Your caseload?
The caseload. Well, looking at, for instance, my detectives. I have an awesome group of detectives. And their caseload, you know, like I said, you have your months where crime flares up and then the caseload increases. And then you have the other months where we're good, where it's minimum. I'm not going to say it's zero crime, but it's minimum crime. You know, so it varies month to month on what the caseload would be.
Okay. What about cases that you do? What type of cases you do?
Well, I don't do cases. Most of my job as district chief is I deal a lot with the city commissioners, the city managers, the city mayors, the town mayor, the town commissioners. I attend a lot of meetings, and I just do basically the overall of the district to make sure that, you know, the troops are following these policies, these procedures, you know, meeting with the town and the city of West Park and making sure that they're happy with the police services that they're getting, and if there's ways we can improve it, I make sure that we're doing what we need to do to improve it. But
so you don't get a lot of homicides?
No. No. You know, every now and then we have one or two incidences that might occur, but no, we're not. This is not a city that's plagued with homicides. No.
Before you got here into West Park, experiences on the force that helped to mold you, what were some of them? Just getting to know, putting on the uniform, going to work, you really get a lot of experience. Can you share that with us?
Absolutely. When I first got hired, I started my career in Pompano Beach. I worked the streets of Pompano Beach for many years, and Pompano is a huge city, and it's a busy city, and you get a variety of calls for service. Variety. So you get anything from your shootings, your stabbings, your bicycle safeties, your your train accidents.
Train accidents?
Yeah, you know, they have the trains there, and I mean, it's just, I've had such a huge experience there in Pompano that I think that really tremendously helped mold me and you know, into who I am, because I learned so much there. And so I was able to become a detective in the city of Pompano as well. So I worked property crimes. So I worked, you know, that's property crimes is, you know, people breaking into your house, your cars, people stealing stuff, criminal mischiefs. It's the property crime. So I was able to do that for a little while. Then I took the sergeant's test. I got promoted to sergeant, stayed in Pompano, went back to road patrol in Pompano. So I was able to work that as a supervisor aspect.
But what is the difference? How was that different from what you were doing before?
Before as a detective?
Yes.
Detective, I was just investigating. So the deputies would go out. Say somebody broke into your house. The deputies would come to your house. They would take the report. And once they take the report, they would give it over to me. Then as a detective, I would go out and investigate. I would look for any type of evidence. Was there any cameras or any witnesses to the incident? You can always check and see, you know, if anybody was selling your property out on the streets. It's just the ways you could go about investigating the case. So that's what I did. Now going into a supervisor, you're back on the road, and you're supervising the people who are coming out to take your report, the deputy's report. So that's what I did. I supervised for probably about 5 years, maybe about 6 years in Pompano. And then I had an opportunity to come down here as the CI sergeant.
What's a CI sergeant?
That's the criminal investigation sergeant over the detectives.
Oh.
So I came down here to the South Broward District as the criminal investigation sergeant. So I was down here for a while. about a year and a half, and then I branched out to Professional Standards Committee. I was the chairperson of that, and that is a committee that consists of residences, command staff, and just different people from different avenues that come and review disciplinary cases that an officer might be involved in.
How do you treat that when you have to discipline your own?
Oh, yeah. Well, I would say this, I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher. That goes back to the different roles that we talked about. I'm a teacher, and so one of the things is I pull out policy and procedure, I look at it, and I see what they did, if they violated any of our policies and procedures. I call them in, hey, look, remember this policy and procedure, let's go over this, this is what you should have done. You know, I always start with corrective action first. I mean, counseling first, you know, before you go into the discipline process, because knowledge is the key. Maybe they did not know they made that mistake.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you start with initial counseling and teaching and training first, and then they continue to go on, then you go into the discipline, you know, aspect of it. But I'm always a teacher. I'm always pulling out the book, the policy and procedure, and explaining to them, this is the route you should have took. See the policy here, it clearly states A, B, C, and D. And so that's the way we look at it.
Do you find officers that they wearing the uniform abuse power?
No. I have not personally ran across that. And since I've been down here no, I'm not going to say I've ran across that as a supervisor, period. Now that I think about it, I haven't had that issue. Now I've heard of it, but the people that I've been blessed with the people that I've had. They've been great. So no, I'm going to say no.
Have you ever had a near-death situation?
No.
How do you prepare your deputies? Because their lives are on the line every day that they come to work. Every day they put on that uniform, they don't know if they're going home alive.
Correct.
How do you deal with that, knowing that the reality of the job? It's
No.
all nice and decorated, but now you have the flip side to this.
I always tell them, protect yourself. Be safe. Wear your vest. Be safe going out there. Always be careful. Watch the people around you. Watch your surroundings. Because at the end of the day, you have to go home. Safety first. You have a family to go home to. So it's always safety first. Watch yourself. Be careful. Watch your six. Be aware of everything that's going on. Don't be complacent. We do a lot of training. And I think the training aspect helps us to who we are, to keep our safety aspect up. Because if we didn't, then, you know,
Anything
could have
can
more
happen.
incidents. Correct.
When we watch the news, it seems like the police gets off with crimes that the public decides that they should have not gone off with. How do you deal with a community that is angry if that was to happen?
I think a lot has to do with knowing who your community is. Knowing who your community is. Knowing your faith leaders in the community is huge. Because I think that these are the ones who are going to, if an incident like that happens, these are the ones who are going to back you up and support you and help you to bring the community together. And let's sit down, let's have a town hall meeting and talk about what occurred. It's hard to say because everybody has different opinions on things. You know, I might see things one way, you might see it another way, and it's kind of hard. But if you're fair, I believe if you're fair and you're just in things, then everything will work out. But it's always going to be a difference of opinions. It's just trying to come together as a community and seeing what we can do to better the process, or, you know, hear everybody. Because that's, you know, most of the time people just need to be heard or want to be heard. And I think if we sit down as a community with our faith leaders, I think these type of issues can be addressed.
When arresting someone, are you nervous?
Of course. It's the unknown. It's the unknown. You don't know if this person is armed. You don't know if this person wants to hurt you or harm you in any way. So yeah, it's always nervous when you go to arrest someone. It really is.
How do you handle the nerves?
Just so how do you handle it? Wow. I mean, you have a job to do, so you have to put it in the back pocket and get over it.
What if it's a friend?
You have a job to do. If it was a real friend, it wouldn't have put you in that predicament.
Well, that is true.
So
that is true. What are the things that keep you focused away from now fishing? What are the things that keep you focused on? This is a high-level stress job. It can be. What is the downtime that you would spend that keeps you focused and grounded?
God. I read the Bible a lot. I'm always trying to figure out things, and so I go and look for scriptures about this and that. So I'm a strong believer in God, and that's why I'm here today, and in the position I'm in today. I'm trying to fulfill my purpose in life.
Are you a Christian?
Yes, I am.
What church?
Right now I go to Calvary Christian Academy. Oh, Calvary Chapel.
And how do they see you? Is there a fear that, okay, the police chief comes here, we got to tiptoe?
No, because I don't think they know. Police chief, I'm in plain clothes, so, but my daughter attends school there, and so I'm always active in their church.
Okay. And the family life setting,
Yes.
how is that with now, is it a job that you have the time with the kids?
Yes. Most of the times I get home in the evening, is my time I spend with the kids. And then on the weekends.
Do you get called out or you work on the weekends?
Sometimes if it's community events, I come to events, that kind of stuff. But for the most part, I'm home on the weekends, and I spend a lot of time with my kids. I enjoy them. They're fun.
What about natural disasters? How does Pembroke Park, we just had Irma, how do you respond to natural disasters for the community?
We were here, when the hurricane came through, we were here 24/7. We were on lockdown. So we were here in the community. Everybody went to 12-hour shifts, and we bunkered down in the district office. And
what about the kids? Were they alone? Were they left alone?
Everybody had to make necessary arrangements for their families.
That's what the cops go through?
Yes.
That's a sacrifice.
It's a sacrifice, absolutely. We have a service to provide to the citizens. So that's one of the things when you sign up, you have to provide, you have to give to the to the citizens that you're serving. And so we were all here, we all buckled down, and we worked 12-hour shifts. Clock around. Nobody was able to go home. We made it happen.
Did you sleep on the job? Did you get some sleep?
Yes. So, one half had 12 hours, while the other half rested, and then we swapped out. So while the other half was resting, they were still ready. They still had their uniform on, and they were ready to go, because if anything big happened, we needed them. They were right there, easy access. They could come back out.
You can come back out. What about the fear of that? It's a hurricane. Yeah, deal with that now. This is now God's stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was scary. We were at the district office, and it was scary. You hear the wind out there, and you're just hoping that especially we were supposed to get a Cat 5, I think it was, a Category 5.
Yeah.
That was scary. That was nerve-wracking. And then you got the tornadoes in the midst, and it was scary. Hurricanes are always scary to me. No matter where you are, they're scary, but we made the best out of it. We were all safe. We all teamed up. We were here.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how did the citizens respond to that?
Oh, when we did our hurricane, our post-hurricane, once we were able to get the clear from the sheriff's office that it was okay to go back out, the winds died down, it was awesome. I mean, the community was happy to see us.
Oh.
We were able to stop by. We tried our best to check on every resident to make sure that they were okay. If we saw trees down, if we saw a house that one of the mobile homes, their roof blew off. And so we were instantly over there trying to assess to see if anybody was in there hurt or anything like that. So the community was we got a lot of praise from the community, appreciating us being out there. And then just even with the water distribution that, you know, the city had and the town had, being out there with that, keeping, or, you know.
Keeping everyone on. Before we ran out of gas, and that was also a big issue. How did they, you know, do you guys have your own gas station to fill your cars?
Yes, we do. We have a part with fire rescue, and we have our own gas station. So before the hurricane, we all had to top off our gas. So once after it passed, we were okay, you know.
Ready to answer to call.
And ready to go out on calls, yes.
Yes.
So we you know, we had our pre-hurricane preparations, and where we go.
How did your family, how did you, they expect that, but did you worry about your family?
Oh, yes. My parents had my kids, and I was trying to push them to go out of town because I was nervous, you know, Category 5, and I was trying to push them to go out of town. They didn't want to leave, though, but they kept the kids at the house, and everything panned out to be really
Yeah, because these are what are the sacrifices that you have to make?
This is one of them.
This is one of them. What about Christmas?
Christmas, I'm actually home on Christmas Day. Yeah, I'm actually home on Christmas Day. I'm actually able to be home on Christmas Day. Most holidays I'm home. I'm able to be home with the family.
Good. Do we have a break coming up now?
I understand.
Well, because as if you're just joining us, we're talking with our district chief, police captain, Stephanie Cooker, captain for the West Park and town of Pembroke Park. And this is a Black History Month. We look forward to interviewing our Black History stars this month, and we started off with the person who is sacrificing. We're just talking about sacrificing of the job, and that it's not as decorated as it looks. There are times when there's heavy sacrifices that they have to live by, work by, and basically life. So we're talking with Stephanie Cooker here about what is it like being a police officer. What is it like? The first day at work, what was that like?
Nerve-wracking. I was very nervous. It's the unknown, you know, meeting new people, putting on this, you know, going out, meeting the community.
How is the uniform? Is it hot?
Yes. I tell you what, it's hot some days and other days. In summertime, it's very hot.
How do you manage the vest? And she's decorated with everything. She has everything on her. How do you manage that?
Just, I don't know, I've gotten used to it, I guess, over the years. You know,
the first time
was rough, you know, the first few months. But once you get used to it, it's second nature, you know.
Okay.
Putting everything on.
Putting everything on.
Putting everything on. You're putting your armor on, you know.
Are you a good shot?
I think so. I think so, yes. Yes.
Are you afraid of shooting someone?
Yes.
Have you ever shot someone?
No, no.
Okay, we're going to a break and we'll be right back.
5 minutes left.
Oh, 5 minutes
Here's
left.
one question. She look in the camera and talk to old people.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Talk to you.
Can I ask about the break? Welcome back. We're here with Stephanie Cooker, who is the police chief captain of the West Park and Pembroke Park Division. It's a pleasure having her, and we are on Black History Month. In February, as you know, is a month of Black History Month. And we are celebrating it with our stars from local heroes in our community, the woman behind the desk. We see her every day go to work. We want to know, how does she stay grounded? What are the things that she loves to do? And if she's as human as us, or is she part of the uniform where you see them and you can't say hi? You get so afraid of the police that you separate yourself from them. Do you find it happen with a lot of people?
Yes, yes.
Once they find out that you're a cop?
No, they, I get the look like, you're a cop? They can't believe it. I'm like, yes, I'm a cop. But, I get a lot of more questions, how did you get there?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy it? But, no, they don't really separate, I think they're more curiosity than
As
anything.
to anything that you do.
Yes.
What? Well, we want to ask Stephanie to speak to the community about just anything that's going on at Broward Sheriff's Department, things that will involve the community with the police department, knowing that we can come to West Park and feel safe and know that we can go to an officer and just say hi.
Absolutely. As a district chief here in the city of West Park in the town of Pembroke Park, this is one of the things that we try to do in the community is community policing. We are a big advocate in that. Sheriff Scott Israel is also a big advocate in that, and getting to know the community. And so several of the things that we do with that is we have Coffee with a Cop that'll be coming out shortly. So please, please, please look for that coming. We'd love to have people come and meet us and come and see who we are, and we would love to meet you all too. Also, we're going to be having driveway initiatives. That's going to be coming out soon. So we're going to try to hit all the different areas in the city of West Park and the town of Pembroke Park.
Okay. Well, this has been Chatting with the Stars. We can't say it any other way. It was awesome. It was an awesome pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much
Really,
for having
I
us.
think you're a phenomenal woman.
Thank you.
And yeah,
Yes, thank
it's a
you.
pleasure having you.
Appreciate it.
This is Chatting with the Stars. I'm your host, Jordan Love. See you next week.